back to the Michigan Business Network, brought to you on the Michigan Business Beat. Oh, vice versa, Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. We're coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport right now. And we have with us Marquilla Chedester and Jake Herrera, and they are co-owners of J&M Strategic Consulting, headquartered in Mason, Michigan, which I know very well. Wonderful community, by the way. And welcome to the show, you two. Good to have you on.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So let's start, Jake, with you. Tell us a little bit about J&M Strategic Consulting. What do you do?
Yeah, so I'll just give you a little background. We started this consulting firm about a little over a year ago, and we offer a larger strategic arm of state government right now. Primarily, like a lot of our consists of our oversight for Department of Health and Human Services, and we also do in other agencies within the state of Michigan too as well. Primarily within policy and technology related endeavors or projects or related deliverables.
All right, Marquilla, add to that. So you're not a government agency, though?
No, we're not. We're a company that supports private and public sector, but predominantly with the public, though, is where our really expertise comes into play for J&M.
So is it, do you get referrals from them, or do you just see maybe who's working with them?
A combination of things. A lot of it is networking. We used to work for the state of Michigan. Well, I did, and Jake was a contractor there. So we have a lot of connections, and we've maintained those connections. And through those connections, we meet other people. So it's a combination of us reaching out to people we used to work with, and then reaching out to new people when we do different network, activities and stuff like that.
All right, so that's a little background on you. Jake, let's hear about you, and don't go as far back as high school wrestling, okay?
Yeah, so I worked at a consulting firm downtown Lansing for about 10 years, worked for DuPont and worked primarily in the health and human services side. Did expand over to the DTMB side too as well, and so also within the security realm, but primarily focused on the deliverables of helping procurement, project-related systems and new systems coming in, and also migrating and sunsetting old systems too. So bringing a real modernization look to the state of Michigan. I was there pre-merger too, so I was part of the large Health and Human Services merger too back a few years ago with Governor Schneider too as well. So. Yeah.
Well, so you were back in the Andy Katarba days.
It was, yes. I started with Andy. I was number 68, I believe, at DuPont. They're quite the size now that they were before, but yes. Yep, I was with Andy.
All right, so tell me what brought you two together, because you're pretty newly founded, maybe what, year old at this point?
Yeah.
Yep. So, like I said, I used to work for the state of Michigan, and I was director there at the Department of Health and Human Services for about 10 years. And during that time I met Jake. We've worked together for about 8 years. And what we discovered is that we had similar common goals and similar approaches, and we kind of balance each other out. So we are always being known to connect people to other vendors, to customers and things like that. So we decided, hey, why not try this on our own? And so we, like I said, a little over a year, we formed our company. And so that's kind of why we believe that we were great partners with each other.
So this is kind of interesting, because I always like these, what caused entrepreneurs to go to the end of the dock and say, it's okay to jump in, right? You had to have that moment. Tell me about that moment. Tell me about when you decided.
I mean, from my perspective, I think we had a lot of lessons learned at the state of Michigan that we looked at and we saw, and we said, hey, we can do these things better, and we can do them leaner, we can do them faster, we can do them cheaper. And we took a lot of those things and really kind of honed what we did from a service perspective and said, hey, how can we make this better? One is obviously execution. It was a big one for us at the state of Michigan. A lot of vendors would come in and give you something, but just leave you kind of empty-handed. So we took it a step further. How do we operationalize this? How do we make it right? How do we, increase taxpayer dollars? So that was something that was really big for us. Marquilla?
Marquilla, how did this year go, this first year?
We have some lessons learned for our first year, but actually it's been really well received. We've made a lot of connections with new people, and we have a lot of ongoing conversations still happening, but we still want to really get our awareness out there about what we can do, like Jake said, because we lived in their shoes. So we're going to probably do more of a marketing campaign to make sure there's more awareness about J&M.
Well, so it sounds to me like there's as much passion in this endeavor as logic, which is a really good thing, by the way. Tell me what you're expecting to accomplish in this next year.
Go ahead.
Okay, yep. So kind of like I said, more awareness, making sure that we get the right clients. We're actually looking at partnering with some other companies that are already well known. So we're going to be looking into some strategic partnerships and alliances. So that's really what our main focuses are going to be for the next few months.
All right, Jake, same way?
Yeah, I think, biggest thing is for, partnering with some of the vendors, pre-existing vendors that essentially we've had contact with, following up on some more additional conversations that I think we have from both the public and private sector as well.
Well, I can tell you firsthand that first year of business is always scary because it never goes as fast as you think it's going to go. But the more you're out there and the more you run into people, and I might add, we met each other at a Public Policy Associates Christmas party, and you never know when that next step comes from. So good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sounds like you're doing good stuff. Marquilla Chedester and Jake Herrera, co-owners of J&M Strategic Consulting in Mason, Michigan. Good luck to you, and thanks for making time for us today. All of you have been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.